counters to issue for all of us. We create it, and that means we are all responsible for it. The crux of the problem, of course, is our attitude towards it. We are gathered here today to address one such critical issue concerning biomedical waste. GOA started a treatment of biomedical waste, and the launch of this initiative with the Goa State Pollution Control Board will begin today. We also have a handbook release on waste management in housing societies developed and designed by the GCCI Infrastructure Committee. I now request Dr. Rufino Montero to kindly escort our chief guest, Dr. Tariq Thomas, to the stage. I request the President of GCCI, Mr. Ralph D'Souza, to escort Mr. Levinson Martin on stage, and Dr. Tilve to escort Mrs. Shamila Montero on the stage, please. And the lady. Something new today, instead of flowers, we are going to give a green. I now request Dr. Anand Dalmi of IMA Tiswadi to offer seeds of life to the dignitaries on stage. Thank you, Dr. Dalmi. Dr. Tariq Thomas, a very old medical degree holder and a very competent man who has done the whole biomedical waste management process, setting up of the unit and everything, and for whom we are at the IMA very grateful to. Similarly, Dr. Shamila Montero, Levinson Martin, who also have been pillars in this pollution control and waste management. My dear colleagues, Dr. Amol Tilve and Dr. Amol Maldar, and Mr. Ralph D'Souza, the President of GCCI, at whose kind gesture we are having this function and the registration of our medical facilities here today. We have had this function today so that we can get on board doctors and medical establishments who have not yet registered with the Pollution Control Board and with the IT Biotic, our waste management company. Out of the 1,000 over doctors and the hospitals and medical establishments that are there in Goa, Dr. Levinson Martin will be able to give us the exact details. But from what I learned, only about 50% of the clinics have got registered, and lot of the clinics, the Ayush doctors, homeopathic doctor clinics are yet to be registered. Most of the hospitals and veterinary clinics, I am given to understand, have already registered. And as our Mr. Amunkar said at the beginning, waste is our own creation. And biomedical waste is a very hazardous waste, more infective than even the other waste. So proper disposal of this waste is very important. And the waste management company has set up a very modern facility for us at Kundai. It is one of the best facilities in the country, and it is a big relief to us. Before, we didn't know where to dispose of our waste. Frankly speaking, the medical fraternity in Goa used to dig pits. Some used to send to Goa Medical College, some used to send to Manipur Hospital. In Panjim, of course, last 2 years we had the municipality. In Mormugao, we had the municipality who had arranged for collection of the medical waste and disposal. And it was a really big problem because you used to find syringes, needles, and other waste, medical waste, lying sometimes here and there, which was not a pleasant sight, and a very big solution to that was to be found. And we are really thankful to Dr. Tariq, Mrs. Sharmila Montero and Levinson Martin and the other officials for doing a very fantastic job, that we are finding ourselves relieved in getting a facility that disposes of the medical waste. So I welcome you all to today's function. We have called doctors today who will be coming in batches to get themselves registered at the hands of the Pollution Control Board people and the IT biotic officials. And we hope that we will reach out to many more in the coming days and get all the clinics, hospitals and other medical establishments on board, because that is the need of the hour. Thank you very much.
Commerce and Industry had started a new committee this year, that is our Health and Wellness Committee. This was the initiative of our President, Mr. R. D'Souza, to focus on the
Chamber of Commerce and Industry is a 114-year-old apex industrial body in Goa. The Chamber's vision is robust Goan economy with state-of-art infrastructure, establishing Goa as a former state in tourism, IT, education, and as a logistic and pharma hub. We act as catalysts in developing the economy, trade, industry, and commerce, and the socio-economic conditions of Goa and the nation as a whole. I am glad to be present on this occasion for two reasons beneficial to environment. Launch of registration with Goa State Pollution Control Board and IT Biotic for all clinical establishments for biomedical waste management, and release of a booklet on waste management in cooperative societies developed by GCCI Basic Infrastructure Committee. Biomedical waste is any waste product during the diagnosis, treatment, or immunization of human or animal research activities pertaining thereto, or the production or testing of biological or in health camps. It follows the cradle-to-grave approach with the characterization, quantification, segregation, storage, transport, and treatment of the waste. The basic principle of good biological waste management practice is based on the concept of 3 R's, namely reduce, recycle, and reuse. The best management methods aim at avoiding generation of waste or recovering as much as waste as possible rather than disposing. Therefore, the various methods of the waste disposal according to the desirability are prevent, reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, treat, and lastly dispose. Hence, the waste should be tackled at the source rather than with the end of the pipe approach. This treatment of disposal facility means any facility wherein treatment, disposal, or process incidental to such treatment and disposal is carried out. Only about 10 to 25% of the biomedical waste is hazardous, and the remaining 75 or more is non-hazardous. The hazardous part of the waste is waste presence, physical, chemical, or microbiological risk to the general population and healthcare workers associated with handling, treatment, and disposal of the waste. The biomedical waste treatment facility has come up in Kundai, which has a capacity of 9 metric tons of biomedical waste. Currently, 1.2 metric tons of biomedical waste is being treated. GCCI Basic Infrastructure Committee has come out with a handbook on waste management in cooperative societies with the tagline, "My garbage, my responsibility." Education and awareness, common notice, board posters and stickers, wet waste treatment at source, dry waste recycling, and some inputs on sewage and effluent treatment. We propose to circulate these to all the cooperative societies in Goa. My congratulations to Basic GCCI committee for this initiative, especially to Mr. Gaurav Pokle who has taken a lot of efforts to make this handbook. My congratulations to our state government and the GSPCB for launching this registration scheme. Special recognition to the efforts made by Dr. Tariq Thomas, Dr. Shamila Montero, and Mr. Levison Martin to make this happen. Welcome to the chamber, and may the good Lord always bless you. Thank you.
We will now have the release of the booklet, which was basic income committee. I request Mr. Gaurav Pukle and Mr. Gerard Demello to kindly come on stage, please.
First of all, let me thank IMA for having invited me and for this function. As you all know, Waste Management Corporation has set up the biomedical waste facility at Kundai, which was the long need of the state. And we established it within record time of 12 months with the state-of-art facilities there, which is as per the latest rules of biomedical waste, which are 2016 rules. There are many biomedical waste facilities in the countries which we also saw before setting that up, but they were outdated by the time 2016 come. Maybe after many years, again rules will change. We have to upgrade this also. The critical aspect was segregation of biomedical waste, collection, transportation, and finally disposal. And we operate for one of the best technologies here, that is with the rotary incinerator. Because it would take care of the pollution aspect of it. There were apprehensions in the industrial state of other industries that this would create pollution. It wouldn't, but still we went for the best technology, and this is today, I think, one of the maybe only facility in the country with this rotary incinerator, where pollution is almost negligible. Now this facility has been set up in a 10,000 square meters land in industrial state, and the capacity is 300 kg per hour. Now GOA, as per our estimate, it was creating or generating around 3,000 kgs, 3 tons per day of one type of waste, which also included waste from animal husbandry or pet clinics also. Again, to have another standby facility there, the BIOMEDICAL waste incinerator was also to be shifted there. Now this we did to ensure that the cost is coming to a minimum instead of having another incinerator there. So now the GMC, this also will be shifted there. Now till date, see, October 21, this facility was ready. We got consent from Pollution Control Board, thanks to Dr. Shamila Montero, who has been with us all throughout. And till date, almost 4.28 lakh kgs of waste has been handled there. Various type of waste. Yellow waste, as you all know, is incinerable waste. All body parts and other things, including COVID waste. 60% of that has been that so far. Then 31% has been red waste, which is recyclable waste, your IV lines and all other things. 7% has been blue waste, you use bottles, medical medicine bottles and all, and 1 white, all your sharps and needles and other things. Now, so far, out of 1,200 facilities present in Goa, but there are more, as Dr. Rufin Montero said, the Ayush clinics, other things has to also come. Even the old age homes has to come. They also have a lot of disposable of your sanitary pads and your diapers and other things. So around 800 has been registered so far. So as of now, with the statistic, around 400 has to come on board. And the initiatives like this will definitely help. And I congratulate and thank IMA for having made available this facility on this particular day. I am sure by the end of the day, not many facilities will be on board for the pollution board also and for the biotics this one also. Because as you know, biomedical waste facility, there are guidelines. You have to have only one common facility in the state or in a 150 kilometer radius. Goa being a small state, we are having only one common facility. And to ensure that all these facilities, these guidelines are made to ensure that all facilities are set up, they are functioning properly, and in an economic sense also they are functioning properly. Otherwise, people don't register and waste doesn't come here. Economically, it is not viable also. So that's why these guidelines are there throughout the country. I am sure with all the state of art machinery there, and so far waste has been treated. There has been no issues. Smooth functioning has been there thanks to your cooperation. I am sure in the days to come, we will not have any issue of waste, biomedical waste. And as you said earlier, this waste is to get mixed with the other waste. Even at our plant, Saligam plant, which is for municipal waste, a lot of this waste also would come there invariably. Now, this is quite a dangerous situation, and we can't live in the past. Now, rules have been changed, and we have to ensure that the waste is segregated and it goes to the facility which is meant for this waste. See, like this, Goa now has set up one plant at Saligam of municipal waste, which is now upgraded to 250 tons. Very shortly, we will have the South Goa plant, municipal solid waste plant. The other plant also will come up. Then there is a e-waste also will be set up shortly. We have issued a letter of award also. Hazardous waste is already set up. So, and C&D waste is also likely to come up. Why I am saying this? Because the hospital will have e-waste also. You will have tube lights and whatever is there. Biomedical waste is there only. You can also have hazardous. You can have also C&D waste. Suppose you demolish and reconstruct it. So a hospital can have so many types of waste. So that's why all these segments are very important. And then I'm sure Goa, being a small state, will all be able to manage it properly because our population is also very less. Yet, please ensure that segregation is done at source. We are having a lot of difficulties, but then I'm sure with the days to come, we'll improve upon that. And from our side, we will ensure that facilities capacity actually we can handle up to 28 tons per day also, because this concession is for 20 years. So you can't be changing it, and it is on a PPP mode. Government has only given land to that concessionaire and he has set it up. Now, there are a lot of other issues in the sense, these guidelines are for 10,000 beds. But we don't have 10,000 beds in the state of Goa. We are coming little to, I think, around 7,000. So definitely, in days to come, the bed capacity will also increase. And this facility will meet for a long time the needs of the state of Goa. I'm sure all of you will help, first of all, in ensuring 100% registration and ensuring that 100% waste goes to this facility. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here, and I'm so happy that IMA has taken this initiative of getting all the doctors here today to do the registration and of the authorization on the pollution control board. We at the pollution control board were facing a lot of problems to get the doctors to comply with the biomedical waste authorization and the rules. So this is a very good initiative. Earlier in Goa, as you all know, that we did not have a common biomedical waste treatment facility. And the pollution control board was always facing this problem of how to give you the authorizations and how to give the consents to the hospitals. So we were just, taking a way out by saying that, okay, you can do it in the pits, buried in the pits and encapsulated pits and, deep burial pits, but that is not the correct practice. But we had to do with it because we cannot say that to the doctors, don't practice or don't close down. So therefore, now since we have, and all the issues already, Lenz and Martin has already told you about what are the issues which were being faced there. A lot of waste was found here and there and strewn around. So now that we have this common biomedical waste treatment plant, the government has taken a lot of pain in doing it, and Mr. Levinson Martin, the GWMC MD, has told you that how they have managed to get this done and put up in a record span of time. And this has been was monitored by the highest level by the Chief Secretary. And we must take this advantage. So there is no need of, now we can just simply blindly say that, okay, you all are disposing in the common waste treatment facility, you all have tied up with the biotic. So we know that your waste is going to be treated correctly in the right manner. So we can just close our eyes and sort of give you the authorization or the consent. Otherwise it was becoming very difficult for us, because already there are so many matters in the NGT with respect to this biomedical waste itself. And even during the COVID time, we know how much trouble it was to dispose this COVID waste. Be it from the hospitals, or be it from the laboratories, or be it from the municipality area, wherever they were designated as COVID homes or COVID areas. So now, since this facility is there, please all of you all do the registration. If your friends, your doctors, because I know that there are a lot of WhatsApp, social media messages which say do not go for the authorization, do not put it in this waste, they are charging so much. So whenever there is a proper treatment facility done, always there is a cost to it. If there is no, proper treatment, if it is just thrown around here and then the cost naturally will not be that high. Okay. So also another request is, since IMA is here, you all could, also the hospitals, whenever you all are taking in new recruits, you can always have an induction training and give them a training on how to handle the waste. So that's very important. They don't know. And sometimes, yes, doctors are very busy in their work, because patients are very important and you don't get time. But you must put someone on the job for doing this kind of things. And besides, after authorization, that's not the end of it. You need to submit your annual returns to us. And that's very important. And if you do not submit your annual returns, then there is something called a penalty. So it's not good for us to levy a penalty on doctors, because it's, I don't know, it is not, it will create an ill feeling. Okay, so please comply with the rules and read the rules. Okay, so you will also be aware that the Pollution Control Board is not coming with a stick or something like that. So it is there in the rules and we have to abide by them. Okay, so with that, my person is here from the Pollution Control Board. He will give you the full details on how many facilities have been registered with us. Last year we have authorized around almost 300 authorizations we have issued. So with that, thank you once again to the President of the GCCI for giving us the venue here, and the President of IMA for taking this initiative and gathering the doctors who have not yet taken authorization. Thank you.
Good morning to all. My colleagues, Doctor, I would like to thank both GCCI and IMA for organizing this event in collaboration. In fact, it shows the kind of support that the industry, even the medical fraternity, they are understanding that the medical fraternity, medicine is a profession, but there is an industrial aspect to it also, hospitals as such. And we are seeing broadly GCCI also coming into the fold, understanding the importance of waste. So I am very, very thankful to both of you for making this event possible and inviting me. I will start this on one point. My colleague Dr. Levinson said, can't live in the past. We can't live in the past. So there is, as Dr. Shimla said, there was a challenge in the state. We need things, if rules and regulations come, development happens in the country, it happens in the state. So the rules and regulations are aimed to attain certain objectives. Here the biomedical waste rules was, the waste that is being generated should not harm others, should not harm the environment. So, but at the same time, we needed doctors to practice, we need patients to be treated. So I think in every country, as technology is also improving, growth happens, that challenge happens. The laws are made and the compliance to the laws. And slowly over Goa being a progressive state, I think it was high time that we needed to get on board. And I must commend, of course, Dr. Levinson. I got all the praise, but actually I must commend Dr. Levinson. In fact, he got his doctorate on specializing in waste management. And so he has actually focused, and GWMC as an agency, him and my boys there, all the staff, they have been working for the last 3 to 4 years to address issues of all waste streams. So today the event is on biomedical waste, but GCCI is here and people understand that we have hazardous waste, e-waste, okay, different waste streams, C&D waste. Now you will all say, yes, there is a compliance cost. Like one of the big issues regarding the biomedical waste plant was the costing. Definitely, as Dr. Shimla said, if you do not treat, okay, if you are not managing properly, the cost will be less. If you treat it in a proper scientific manner, then the cost will be high. But the cost, and one more problem with Goa is, of course, by problem I mean it's a benefit to us, low population, less number of clinics, then the costing definitely goes up. So a detailed study was made. I know there were some minor issues. We can sort it out over a period of time. But this facility was very much required. COVID actually accelerated it. What you have seen how waste was being generated in each house. We don't know in future what other kinds of issues will arise. So we needed this facility. It is again, the team has worked in record time. It has been done. We are open, but our request to all is, see, if not today, then in another year or 2 years you have to comply. And compliance is not because we want to follow the law. Compliance is because we don't want the environment to be hurt. The treatment of waste, I would request any of you should go to our segregation sites. The worker has to go there into the waste, he has to touch the waste which we throw, and he has to segregate it. Now if this biomedical waste, who are all the responsible partners here, doctors, if they do not go for this kind of segregation, it lands up in the common waste. And if doctors are aware and needle prick, what risk is there? You imagine a worker who earns minimum wage, okay, who is working in waste, he has to sort it out. Over a period of time, we were living in such a system. It's not, even India had manual scavenging, but we can't live with the past. We have to move forward systematically. In fact, Goa can be the model. And this plant will ensure that one of the best in the country, doctors, in fact, Dr. Shamla said, I speak softly but carry a big stick. That is what she meant, don't force me to use the stick. But this plant, the costing is there. What we are not understanding is the compliance burden in terms of filing returns. The packets are barcoded, okay. All the data is being entered. So generating the forms, the returns will become automatic and easy for the doctors. So today, okay, we are not so strict. But as you have people concerned about the environment, including us, you will have this regulatory pressure. So for doctors, in fact, it is making life easier. It is automating that, and that brings a certain cost to it. And we have to, so it's not that this plant is just treating waste. It is also helping the doctors or all those who are registering with complying, not only by saying in my certificate that I am sending the waste there. It also helps in ensuring that all the accounts, returns are filed. So at the end of the year or whenever next time Pollution Control Board shows us the record, you don't have to do anything. Everything is electronically kept. So we must understand that this is not only a step towards normal waste management, it is also a step to reduce the compliance burden for the doctors who are registering today. So I believe, I know there has been some opposition, there has been, when we inherited, especially I inherited late, and before Mr. Levinson Martin also, the tender process partly was done. We do understand there were some issues. We have to move forward, we have to ensure that it is done in a good manner. So I think that it's wonderful that IMA has gotten its doctors and registered practitioners here. I would also like to add my thanks particularly to GCCI. So this booklet has been, now in all waste, it's also there is supply side and demand side. Okay. So supply side, in fact, today's booklet that has been launched, overall there is a need in Goa that we address the supply side issue also. If just digressing a little bit, from 1st of July, the many single-use plastics are going to be banned. Now, when you do such a plan, we also understand environment is one, but industry also takes time and there is a requirement to adapt to do it. Consumer demand also shapes industry. So this kind of booklets ensure that the producers, so other waste streams are there, they produce less and they also generate less, and there is a demand and consciousness. If I am conscious or people are conscious, then I will spend maybe 50 paise extra for a paper cup. Okay. But otherwise, if I am not conscious of that system is not there, I will use plastic cups and there will be a demand. Then industry will produce that. So there is a balance between supply and demand. I think awareness and such activities like GCCI's thing will increase the awareness and reduce the demand for non-eco-friendly alternatives, which will help the industry to move towards maybe a higher premium will be there, but more environment-friendly products. So I like to congratulate GCCI and thank them for giving this all and working together for this booklet. I think housing, so we are, of course, we believe like being a doctor, you tell a diabetic you don't eat sugar, the person still, it's very, very difficult. That is why there is, medicine is there, right? That is why he has to have tablets. Same way, Dr. Levinson and I understand that even if you tell people you reduce waste, you segregate waste, we still have to keep making plants because people will not change their behavior overnight and we have to keep doing for waste. So it's a continuous game in which we are running on. So once again, thank you all for having me and let's hope that we can have more such activities. Thank you.
Dr. Amol Mahal.
We want to felicitate Dr. Tariq for leaving us and going for further prospects in Delhi. Thank you, Dr. Tariq. All the best.
Today, at the function here at the GCCI, we have launched a handbook, a small booklet, which will be also available on a PDF format, which will be circulated to all housing societies in Goa, because a lot of housing societies where we are moving towards urbanization, and this urbanization, a lot of homes come together, they generate a lot of waste, and segregation of waste is very crucial. And when I say waste, it's not only solid waste that we generate in our homes, but also the liquid waste that we generate and which enters into our water bodies, into our ecosystem, and as a result is a health hazard for us. As an IMA body and everyone is working towards everyone's health and betterment, and as a GCCI BIC committee, they are also working towards how you can prevent going to doctors and health facilities. So this is one move that GCCI and GIC has taken together to educate all waste generators in composting, in segregation, in knowing what the rules of 2016 say and what individually you can do to bring down the waste footprint. Thank you.
प्रोग्राम करपाक कारण कित्याक हे पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड आनी वेस्ट मॅनेजमेंटाचे IT बायोटिकाक रेजिस्ट्रेशन इज मॅन्डेटरी एज पर लॉ, कित्याक बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट आहा पळय तो एकदम डेंजरस. तो दुसऱ्यांक हे इन्फेक्शनां सगल्यांक आख्ख्या कम्युनिटीन, आख्ख्या गांवांक, आख्ख्या वाड्याक वचपाक शकता आमी तो वेस्ट सारको डिस्पोज करिना जाल्यार. सिरिंजां भायर उडयलीं, सुयो भायर उडयल्यो, और ड्रेसींग करून जे मॅटेरियल उरता और कितें आमी कातरता पळय तें अशें भायर उडयलें आनी ताका जे जर्म्स आसा, जंतू आसा ते सगल्यांक लागपाक शकता. ते बसत आख्ख्या भारताक एक लॉ आसा आनी एज पर द लॉ सगळ्या डॉक्टरांनी, सगळ्या हॉस्पिटलांनी, सगळे मेडिकल एस्टॅब्लिशमेंट जावं वेटनरी हॉस्पिटल लेगून पॅट क्लिनिक्स, आयुष क्लिनिक्स, हेंचे सगळे क्लिनिकांतले जे कितें वेस्ट आसा तो वेस्ट बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट सारको डिस्पोज करपाक जाय आनी तो एक सेग्रिगेशन करचें पडटा. शार्प्स म्हणजे कितें तोपता पळय तशें सुयो, मागीर प्लास्टिक्स आमचे ग्लावज जावं सिरिंजां, त्या भायर कितें सोल्युशनां, कितें टिश्यू आसा, कितें कातरता, कितें स्वॉब्स आसा, पास आनी दुसरे मॅटिरियल फ्लुइड्स, हें सगळें सारकें डिस्पोज करपाक जाय सेग्रिगेट करून. आनी तेकाच लागून गव्हर्मेंटान, आमच्या गोंयच्या गव्हर्मेंटान एकदम बऱ्यांतलो बरो प्लांट कुंडय घातला आनी एक आयटीबायोटीक म्हणून ऑन तांणी तो प्लांट घातला, गव्हर्मेंटान तांकां जागो दिला आनी जे फेसिलिटी रेजिस्टर करता ताणें पयशे फी फारीक करची पडटा. आतां हो इंडियन सगळ्यांतलो सद्या बऱ्यांतलो बरो प्लांट आनी क्लिनिका प्रमाणे, लॅबोरेटरी प्रमाणे, हॉस्पिटला प्रमाणे, कितलीं बेडां आसा पळय ते प्रमाणे चार्जीस आसता. ताका लागून आयज आमी हो प्रोग्राम केला. जायत्या दोतोरांनी अजून रेजिस्टर करूंक ना, म्हणून पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्डाक आनी आयटीबायोटेकाक रेजिस्टर करचें म्हणून आमी हो आयज प्रोग्राम सादर केला. कित्याक जितले डॉक्टर येता ऑन बोर्ड तितले सगळें बाय कॉम्प्लायन्स विथ द लॉ जाता आनी आमकां 100% कॉम्प्लायन्स विथ द लॉ आमच्या गोंयांत जावं. कित्याक नाजाल्यार जांकां ऑथरायजेशन ना फ्रॉम पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड, जे आयटीबायोटीक वेस्ट मॅनेजमेंटाच्या फेसिलिटीन रेजिस्टर करूंक ना, आपणाचो वेस्ट उडोवपाक, डिस्पोज करपाक, जाल्यार फाल्यां तेंचेर पेनल्टी आसतली, इवन क्लोजर ऑफ द क्लिनिक्स एज पर लॉ. पूण दोतोरांचे क्लिनीक बंद करुना जावपाक, पेशंटांक त्रास जायना जावपाक आमी दोतोरां फाटल्यान आसा तांणी रेजिस्टर करचें आनी ही फेसिलिटी गव्हर्मेंटान उपलब्ध केल्या पळय ती तांणी फुडें व्हरची म्हणून आपणाच्या क्लिनिकांनी आनी हॉस्पिटलांनी.